Have you ever just known, like deep in your bones, that someone's little scheme is about to come back and smack them right in the face? That's the kind of day I was having, sitting there on my porch with a mug of coffee, Montana morning cool mixing with the steam, watching Karen from the HOA strut right through my front gate, dragging two so-called wildlife management experts behind her, acting like she owned every acre of land my grandfather left me. She said something about community land use rights, accused me of restricting wildlife habitat, threw out all these big words she'd clearly practiced in front of a mirror until, well, let's just say nature had a way of shutting her up real quick. See, this patch of grass and sky is all I've got. 37 wild Mustangs. Thunder and his herd call my ranch home, and every day I wake up to watch them drift across the land like living poetry, just the way my grandfather taught me to appreciate. I'm a veteran, came back from Afghanistan with half a leg missing and a mess of scars, physical, mental, you name it, and this ranch became my therapy. My church, the only place quiet enough to quiet those memories. 3 years home, and for a while it was peaceful. Until 6 months ago when Regina Ashworth, though you'd know her as Karen, decided to make it her mission to save Oak Valley Estates from the so-called wildlife nuisance next door. She started with complaints about the smell. Please, these horses aren't pigs. Then came the noise because apparently a stallion's whinny at dawn violates some magical HOA noise ordinance. When that didn't stick, it was property values and public safety all wrapped up in official letterhead and legalese designed to make anybody's blood pressure spike. But the kicker. 3 weeks back, I spotted Karen at a town meeting whispering with Councilwoman Patricia Wells, and let's just say the way Wells kept glancing my way told me everything I needed to know. She'd been pushing for community development for months, and you know when politicians start talking about serving the community, what they really mean is their bank account. So that particular morning, I'm watching this dust cloud roll up my road, Karen's white Escalade in front, a beat-up Ford behind it, and two camo-wearing experts hauling tranquilizer guns and survey equipment. I put my coffee down and limped off the porch, prosthetic clicking reminder of days when life felt simpler, just as Karen hollered, "Mr. Bright, I'm here with Mason Travis and Cole Hendricks from the Montana Wildlife Management Association. We're exercising the community's easement rights through your property to access the hunting zone beyond your eastern boundary." She waves around a folder of papers like it's the Constitution, quoting some 1962 charter acting. Like my family's land is just another HOA park. I tell her calm as I can. This is private property, ma'am, protected by state law and Native American treaty rights. No public easement, and definitely no hunting zone. But Karen, her smile never fading, just goes cold in the eyes, tells me. Native American rights don't supersede community development. Says my grandfather may have claimed this land, but legal ownership needs proper documentation. The word claimed set my jaw tight. Meanwhile, her goons start setting up shop, and Thunder, my lead stallion, spots him, puts himself between his herd and these strangers like he always does. The mares line up behind him, protective as you'd expect. Wild Mustangs, they're not trusting. They know what sanctuary feels like, and they know when it's being threatened. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you and your friends to leave my property right now," I say, pulling out my phone and starting to record. "You're trespassing, and if you lay a finger on those horses, you're facing federal charges." Karen just laughs sharp and brittle, tells me Patricia Wells has already approved this and the men are here for an environmental assessment. But then I notice the paperwork she's holding isn't a photocopy. These are originals. County Signatures official seals the real deal, or a damn good forgery. Either she's been handed something serious or someone went to great lengths to pull this off. That's when the whole thing clicks. Karen's just the face. The real power's coming from someone behind her, Patricia Wells, most likely the way she keeps name-dropping her and glancing toward the road like she's waiting for backup. I realize this is bigger than Karen's usual power trip. The next morning I get a call. Councilwoman Wells herself, all oily politeness, says there was confusion about access rights and wants to find a solution. She talks about developers and partnerships that could make me rich if I cooperate, but then drops the thread if I don't play ball. There are legal avenues she can pursue. I spend that whole day digging up records on the 1962 Township Charter. Turns out, those old maps show a phantom access road never existed, but it's just enough to cause trouble. Worse, I find out Wells has been behind land grabs for years, pushing casino development plans and using shell companies to buy up property, all to box me in. Right around noon, Bear Stonecrow Tribal Council elder and legal pit bull pulls up. He looks at my research, points out the shell corporations tied to casino law firms, says, "This isn't about public use. It's about money. Wells wants your land for her casino backers, and she'll do whatever it takes." That same day, Karen lights up Facebook accusing me of hoarding public land and blocking progress. Her post goes viral, 50,000 shares in 6 hours. It's a coordinated smear campaign. Bear's face is grim. If they win here, he says every tribal land in the state is next. That night, I fight back with a live stream, me, Bear, and a stack of original land deeds. We lay out the history, the treaty rights, the legal facts. Nothing about blocking progress. Everything about protecting an ecosystem and honoring promises the government made long ago. The video explodes, but the blowback is fast. County officials send violation notices, demand inspections, question my permits. Then just before midnight, I hear glass shatter. Someone's thrown a rock through my truck windshield with a note, "This is just the beginning." Pocahontas. I'll be honest, the racism didn't shock me, but the speed sure did. Someone wanted me scared. At dawn, Detective Sarah Quinn arrives, an old Army buddy who doesn't take any crap. She's got to investigate because now Karen's claiming I made terroristic threats. I hand her the racist note and she gets it. This isn't neighbor drama, it's a setup. Just as we're talking, a whole convoy rolls up. County inspectors Karen Wells in her fancy Lincoln. Sarah positions herself between me and them, just like the old days. Morrison, the inspector, starts measuring my property. Wells whispers instructions. Karen hangs back and for the first time looks like she's in over her head. I record everything. Catch Wells's annoyance on camera, and that's when Bear's truck arrives, followed by tribal police and federal wildlife agents. Bear lays out the original patent, shows Morrison and Wells that they're on federally protected land, invokes the Native American Graves Protection Act. Suddenly, Wells looks nervous. I overhear her whisper to Morrison, "If legal pressure won't work, we'll have to consider other options. The timeline can't be delayed. Whatever she's up to, she's desperate, and she's running out of time." A few hours later, Wells calls an emergency press conference, frames me as a danger to public safety. I'm watching this circus on TV when I realize the horses are gone. Every last one. I find the eastern fence-cut truck tracks leading away. My heart pounds as I call Sarah. She's already on her way. Tells me horse theft is a federal crime. This is now a full-on FBI case. Agent Maria Gonzalez arrives, reviews my trail cam footage. There's Mason and Cole sedating and loading the Mustangs into a trailer. And there's Patricia Wells right in the middle, directing the whole thing. Gonzalez shakes her head, says, "You're not dealing with a neighborhood dispute anymore. This is federal." We post the video, and within hours, #Save the Mustangs is trending. Karen shows up at my place after dark. Shaken admits she was manipulated. Her own son died in a car accident with a deer, and Wells preyed on her grief to make her the poster child for public safety. By morning, the FBI has found my Mustangs alive at a federal holding facility, every animal tagged with illegal tracking devices. Turns out Wells' real game was laundering money and moving people for her casino investors. My ranch was just the tip of a criminal iceberg stretching across several states. Mason and Cole, the supposed experts, were actually undercover feds gathering evidence. With all that on the table, the FBI swoops in, arrests Wells and her cronies, and the whole crooked network comes tumbling down. 3 months later, Wells gets 25 years for racketeering, trafficking, and all sorts of violations. Karen, having testified, gets community service and a chance to heal. The community wakes up, boots the old HOA, and forms a new council to protect residents from political abuse. Bear leads the first meeting, saying this wasn't just about land. It was about community justice and standing together. My ranch becomes a federal preserve, a sanctuary for Mustangs, and a place for veterans to heal. Karen uses her settlement to start the Tommy Ashworth Foundation, building wildlife crossings and saving lives, honoring her son the right way. Thunder and his herd thrive, foals are born, and other ranchers start their own sanctuaries. Sarah Quinn takes on political corruption. Mason and Cole get commendations, and I find myself finally at peace sitting on my porch watching the Mustangs run, knowing that even the smallest act of courage can spark real change. If this story hit you, if you felt that moment when justice came running home on a wave of hooves, drop a comment, tell me where you're from and what justice means to you. Like and share. if you believe one voice can make a difference. This is Harper Stories, and around here, every ending is just the start of something better.